shark bait that has such teeth.
In Devon, Connecticut, it's unlawful to walk backwards after sunset. So for those of you that have to do your backward walking, make sure you do it during the day if you're in Devon, because you don't want to get arrested for that shit.
Wow. You imagine having to police that?
Or this is a story for another day. I got arrested. Of all the times I deserve to get arrested, I got arrested for bullshit one time. And it wasn't too much weirder than this.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's a little tease. I'll bring that up someday when we start talking about all the times we've been arrested. Anyway, as some of you know, the official hurricane season started this week. But what you're watching here is a podcast that's a Category 5 podcast, not starting this week. But we've been doing this for 4, 5, 6 months. I'm not even sure. And we have not been downgraded. You watch now that it's hurricane season. You'll see they'll say Hurricane Elmo or some shit like that. And then it'll be Category 5. Next thing you know, it'll be fucking a mild rain or some shit like that. We don't do that. No, we don't fucking go down. So you stay with us. We just keep going and going and going. And that's the Category 5. And a few weeks ago, we became alcohol influencers.
Yes, we did.
So I'm
Feels
giving you.
good.
It does. And I'm trying to get a fact every week, like I did last week.
Right.
And this one says alcohol can impair short-term memory. I'm not sure where I'm going with this, dude. Can't remember. And even though I'm joking now, those of you that watch regularly, that happens pretty freaking often.
What was I talking about? I don't remember.
That happens a whole lot. Okay, back to our G-rated website, www.pghdivebartalk.com. We finished the Pittsburgh quiz.
Yes.
I think your wife won.
Oh,
She got 22 out of 22, and so did John. But she, unlike you and John, she took the time to take. Oh no, I think maybe John took the second quiz.
Oh,
and she got the highest score on the second. So combined, she's the biggest. Even though you hate Yinzers, you married the biggest Yinzer of the area.
Yeah,
how about that?
Yeah, that's the white trash again. You take the white trash out of the city, but. Yep. And
I had my grandson Forbes take it. Now he was sitting on my lap, but I had to answer for him because he can't talk. But he tied you. It was 6-6. But anyway, replacing that. Oh, this is an easy one. Some of you, I don't want to do that, including this guy sitting next to me. Oh, by the way, that's Tiny. I'm the Prince of Pittsburgh. And Tiny doesn't... anything that takes more than 7 seconds, he doesn't like to do. Well, we have the new quiz up there that takes less than that. How about that? And basically, I'll give it to you. There's photos, but and this is another Pittsburgh thing. You can only pick one, and it's Fiore's Pizza, Wooley's Fish, Primanti's Sandwich, or Pepe's Hoagie.
Yeah.
And now I'm very biased here, and
I got to be honest.
Okay.
That fish might be the only one that's more overrated than that fish is what's that fish place in this Market Square?
No, don't be bringing that shit up. No, you're full of shit. You're full of shit.
That is the worst.
No, you suck.
It's way worse than the Woolies.
See, this is
way worse.
I was in a nice mood, and now you just pissed me off. Just fucking pissed me off. No, it's an iconic place. You're paying for everything, the ambiance. No, fuck you.
It comes on a fucking paper plate.
Fuck you.
Great ambiance. It comes on a paper plate.
What do you need? Fine china?
Like a fork doesn't break.
You know, I've eaten at your house a couple times. I think I got a fork, but I don't. I think it was out of the dirty fucking dishes.
You are never going to convince me of that ever.
Yeah, no.
And the other one's not much better, by the way. The one that's on the chart, the one on the game, it's not.
I agree, but we don't want to influence you. I mean, we only want to influence your alcohol intake.
Right.
Drink up. But to me, that's not even a contest. I don't even think Fiore's the best pizza in Pittsburgh.
I agree with that too. That's one thing we agree on.
Okay. So that's like I said, we have lovely photos, and lots of other stuff on there. And it's rated G. So take your kids, bring the neighbors, take you to the pool, open up your, it won't offend anybody, our website. Stay here and we'll offend you at some point. Okay, we're going to move right on. And I had one viewer, and he was trying to help, like, number 6. We used to do as many number 6s as we could,
right.
but now we're just doing our favorite.
Yep.
And do you have a favorite number 7?
Ben, to me, everybody hates Ben, and his game, he was the last fun Steeler to watch for me. Him and Palomali were the last ones that were fun for me, so Ben's my guy.
And I listed him first, too, because he's obviously the one that I lived and died with for how many years.
Right.
The only other person that deserves mention is when I grew up, Mickey Mantle was bigger than life, and he was number 7, so
sure.
He had to get mentioned there. But, if you're a Steeler fan, Big Ben had to be your favorite number 7.
Yeah, and I even tried with Lakers, but Lamar Odom's the most notable number 7 for the Lakers.
Oh, God. Well, he was okay until the Kardashians fucked him up, and they fucked him up good.
Pretty good.
Okay. New Scientist magazine. I read it so you don't have to, and he doesn't have to. But I got 3 headlines this week. Sticky dark matter could be lurking in a distant galaxy.
Better than sticky white matter.
I guess, but how's that affect anybody? Does anybody look at that and say, I got to read this article? That could really screw me up. Okay. Now, this is something, though. Capuchin monkeys. Did I pronounce that right? Capuchin?
Sure.
Capuchin monkeys kidnap other species infants. Now, what do you think they asked for in ransom? Like a shitload of bananas? What? Once again, I read the headlines. I don't read the articles, but I just don't know why they're doing that and what they're trying to get out of it.
Man.
And here's one that we touched on this 2 or 3 weeks ago, but this is going to make you happy, I think. This was in the letters, but it was in response to an article they had in there that somehow got by me. But this was the headline of the letter. I washed clothes in urine and they came out great. Now, remember a couple of weeks ago when you had that little issue?
I washed my shorts in urine.
See, you were worried about that. You were doing those shorts a favor. I wouldn't even have thrown them in the laundry.
They were good to go as is.
Absolutely. I mentioned to you about the Category 5, but there's other things we are, and I might have forgot something. You chime in.
Go ahead.
We're the hardest working podcast in 4 states, the 3 states right around here, and North Carolina, because McElmont gave us that.
He did.
And he mentioned us in one of his posts this week. So, but he gave us North Carolina. And not only those 4 states, but Suriname. We're the hardest working podcast in Suriname also. Right. No one in Suriname works harder than us. Mm-hmm. We are 720 pounds of podcast proclivity, and I'm guessing that's at least true. We are the only immersive podcast in the Mid-Atlantic states. Mm-hmm. We are now alcohol influencers. Mm-hmm. And we kind of put this on the back burner for a while, but we are a patron podcast. And then we come up with honeybees with bad memories. Remember with the microplastics?
With the microplastics. Yeah. I do remember that.
But we're willing to add to that. Maybe
yes.
We'll come up with something today. But were we anything else?
I think I about covered
it.
And
we also, that's right. We provide the dive bar experience. You don't have to go there. You don't have to drink. You don't have to listen to all the bullshit you hear there because we give you that same bullshit right here.
That's right.
In the comfort of your own home or car or whatever. Okay, and here's why you shouldn't touch the dial. Today's show. This is just today. I mean, you go back to the previous episodes, we got a shitload of stuff that we really do.
A lot of content.
We do need to go through that sometime. Anyway, on today's show, we have Dear Tiny versus Dear Abby. Not just he's going to give advice, but he's going to give it. We're going to have Dear Abby's advice and his, and we're going to determine whose is better. Mm-hmm. We actually, this is probably the most unbelievable thing on this whole show. We're going to talk about some good Pittsburgh Pirate memories.
For once,
we have to go way back.
Yep.
But we have personal experience on a good pirate memory. We have a Transylvanian brain freeze, and here's what you don't know. I have 4 of them today, but 2 of them deal with nudity.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought you'd like that. And I know you people like it too.
Nice.
Okay, we have the movie game and the music game. And poor Tiny, he was perfect up until last week. He had one bad week. He's now in fourth place. Fourth place. We got some good people out there.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, we do. We do. Maybe they are. Maybe they are. We have an Argy Bargy, and once again, I had to push back all my other Argy Bargies because something pissed me off yesterday.
Wow.
Yesterday it pissed me off. So I don't know when I'm going to get to those other 7. Would you rather? This isn't just we always have 2 women against each other, but these are 2 Olympic athletes that you probably know. Mm-hmm. And then in Samurai Cheddar, we have overrated people. That's overrated people. And I guess real quick, yesterday I'm at LA Fitness and I come up to 2 people, one of them being Tarzan. Uh-huh. And Tarzan and a woman, and I said, hey, I got a question. I haven't seen you guys. What do you think? And I explained what we're doing. Overrated people. Yeah. Stay away from politics, dead or alive. And the woman right away said Rod Stewart. Wow. And well, someone else had said that too. And we're going to get to that in Samurai Chatter. This is what's called a tease, but it's also making fun of Tarzan. So Tarzan said, let me think about that a while. I said, I got about another hour here at LA Fitness.
Right.
So he comes up to me. I'm on the bike. He says, hey, I got it. I said, okay, what do you got? He proudly said, a fish sandwich. I said, what the fuck are you talking about, Tarzan? Are you dumber than you fucking look? I said, we
out of the market district.
We had a conversation. Number one, we had a conversation, and the woman friend of ours said Rod Stewart, and we talked about it.
Right.
I said, how'd you come up with a food? And then I had a temporary lapse. I said, maybe we'll do overrated food later. And I said, wait a minute. We did it 2 weeks ago. He said, yeah, I took pasta. So not only did he take food over people for some unknown fucking reason,
took a different one.
He took a different food than 2 weeks ago.
That's funny.
I made fun of him enough. He did give me a real human. Okay. So that's our intro, but stay tuned because this is the first time in history, Dear Tiny versus Dear Abby.
Dear Abby, my feet are too long, my hair's falling out.
Welcome back to Pittsburgh Dive Bar Talk. This is history in the making. Dear Tiny versus Dear Abby. And this is an actual newspaper with actual Dear Abby letters. And if it wasn't, could I do this?
Did you do the crossword on that?
I did. Look
no way. That's not, you can't do a whole crossword.
Oh,
no bullshit.
No. We have a live audience only here for a little bit longer. I do many crosswords every day. Yeah. That's why I'm way fucking smarter than you. But this beer does even it up a little bit, I will admit. Yeah. That's why I can't remember words. But when I'm sober, I'm not bad at them, you know. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. All right. So this is straight from the Record Courier in Ohio.
Oh.
Yeah, which when I went to school, the Record Courier covers Kent and Ravenna. And it was a really bad paper when I went to school, and it's gotten much, much worse. Much, much worse. You're looking at basically what I do here. I do the crossword, and I read Dear Abby, and I throw the rest away. But we get it for free when we pay, $180 for our hotel room.
Right.
So it's great.
Nice add-on.
All right. We've got 3 letters here. Let's just go to it. Dear Abby / Dear Tiny. We have an annual weekend family reunion that includes family and significant others, along with their children. Most of the children are adults now. One of them, my niece, was recently married and is asking if her new boyfriend's sister and possibly her boyfriend can come to the reunion. We don't have anyone other than the immediate family attend, although we do have a special attendee this year. My brother-in-law's mother is here from South America. She will be coming only for that day rather than the whole weekend. How do I politely refuse my niece's request without hurting her feelings?
Wow.
That's right. I didn't give you these before. I probably should have.
No, that's all right. Well, look, the South American mother, she's probably a looker still, is my guess. That's why they're letting her go.
Every woman in Brazil isn't like what we want to see in Sports Illustrated swimsuits.
Well,
we think they're like that, but they're really not.
They either look like that or they have dicks, one or the other. Right?
Yeah, and pretty big ones.
Well, consider the sources. That's man, the closest thing I can think of is, I mean, it sounds like it's a family thing. It sounds like whoever's talking about this pays for it too. No, is that or do they
I would guess, unless they all
guess.
kick in, but I would think the person that wrote it probably pays the most.
That's when you're only doing immediate family, you got to keep that until the matriarch changes. If that's the way you've always done it, like that whole tradition thing. Until the matriarch of the whole situation changes, I think you got to keep the rules what it is, and you got to say sorry that they don't qualify.
Okay, Abby said, "Throw a few more hot dogs on the grill." You already made one exception.
No, she's wrong.
No, I'm going with Abby on this one.
Nah, fuck her.
Yeah, no. I think once you make one exception, I mean, it's not like this person's bringing homeless people into the fucking reunion. Yeah, they're bringing people that are.
I'm out. They just said for the day for the Brazilian chick.
Yeah,
just for the day.
She could have been Venezuelan.
Whatever.
I just
close South America. Yeah, that's
fair. Okay. All right. Well,
no, Abby sucks.
Okay. Well, I'm going with Abby on that one. Dear Abby, I've been married for 34 years. My husband often accuses me of having cheated on him and being disrespectful to him throughout our marriage. I have said some things in ways I agree were disrespectful, especially after I've been accused of lying, etc. However, I have never cheated or lied to him as he so often accuses me of. What do you advise?
I call bullshit. I call bullshit on the writer. I think there's, and I advise the husband maybe take more severe action. Yeah. If he thinks it, why is he dumb enough to stick around?
Okay. And now here's something I don't agree with Abby. She said usually if someone accuses you of cheating, they're cheating. I don't know if I go with that. I don't think I go with that.
No, most people they're so insecure they're going to think that no matter what.
All right. Even though your advice was bad, I'm going with you on that one.
Yeah.
So, because I didn't like Abby's answer. I didn't read the whole thing, but
listen, Abby's always going to make it the dude's fault.
She often does.
It's always the dude's fault. It's like going to fucking couples therapy.
Okay. In my judgment, we're 1-1, so we're coming down to the rubber match here. Winner gets a rubber.
Yeah.
Okay. Dear Abby, my grandson, you're going to love this one.
Oh, boy.
My grandson is transgender and gets very hurt when I misgender his name. I am nearly 80 and use she sometimes when talking to him. I wrote him a letter at college. We exchange letters all the time and told him my brain is old. And if I keep saying she when we talk, maybe we should just keep writing and see each other less often if it keeps hurting him. Did I do the right thing?
If you're that old, why do you want to be bothered with that? I'm not the right person to ask about family stuff because I've successfully separated myself from most of them. But
well, we don't know about Dear Abby, though.
Yeah, I know, but I'm talking about the old lady.
Oh, okay.
Why?
Okay.
Listen, I mean, look, Granny grew up in Farrell, and she was the one still saying the coloreds are taking over the neighborhood. They were. So, and we didn't think anything of it. Come on, get some thicker skin and just, it's not like she's doing it maliciously. To me, it's always the intent. If the intent is, you're not trying to be a dick, you just fuck it up because you're old, get over it.
I'm with you here. The transgender person's the one that switched it. She was a she, and now does not have a dick, but wants to be called a he. I mean, yeah.
It's not like she's saying, it's not like, sure, miss, when you used to play baseball, like she's just fucking up.
Right. No, I agree. And Abby said, seeing whatever the fuck it is, less would be worse because then that makes them further apart. But I'm going to go more with you. And the transgender's got to be, if you make the change, then you got to be, especially an 80-year-old grandma.
Right,
what
exactly.
the fuck? Go fuck yourself, transgender.
Wow.
Oh, that's right. It's June. I'm sorry. We'll have a parade for you. How about that? All right. We'll be back with pirate good stories. We're live from the cathedral, and in this segment, we tell stories. And for a weird change, we are going to tell a good story about the Pittsburgh Pirates, and specifically, we're talking about the 2013 wild card game versus the Reds. And this is actually a time when we were both there.
Yeah.
Usually we bullshit about stuff, but and I'm sure now there's hundreds of thousands of people that said they were there.
Right.
But we were actually fucking there, not together though. So
Right.
I don't know what he's going to say. He doesn't know what I'm going to say, but it was a good thing, obviously. And take it away, Tiny.
Like Wilt's 100-point game, there were.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. We were season ticket holders still for this, and but we didn't get to sit in our tickets because at that time we had 4 seats, but there were 4 of us that all leased it together.
Okay.
So everybody, of
Ours
course,
was similar.
Yeah. So we ended up down the first baseline at the seats that are angled back a little bit, which they were fine for the game. There wasn't look, for this, there wasn't a bad seat in the house. So, but that's where our seats were. But, just what I remember from that was we parked up at Allegheny Center like we always did. And I just remember walking down, crossing under 279 there, right at the 222.
Right.
The electricity was tangible on the streets from that point into the stadium. And when you got into the stadium, you could feel it that much more. It was there. I've only experienced that feeling 3 times in my life, and that's the only sporting event I've ever witnessed it or felt that. The 2 concerts I've been to, I've felt that electricity.
Oh, I thought maybe you had some good sex with your wife once, but no.
It wasn't with
Nothing
my wife.
close.
It wasn't with my wife. So just the closer you got to the field, the more intense that feeling got. I'll never forget that. And you could just feel everybody was ready to explode, and that was just what I remember. So we get to our seats. It's me, Misty, and my mom. We're in one of those rows where there's only like 5 people in the row. So we're back a little bit. Right. And so
does Misty even care about the Pirates?
I wouldn't
She
say,
shouldn't have got to go to that game.
No, that's fair. No, I mean, even though we went to 30, I think that was the year we went to like 38 games in total. Oh, really? And she was there for almost all of those.
Oh, you're kidding. Okay, I take it back then.
I think you're accurate to say she's, if it's what's going on in the town, she wants to be a part of it, but no, she doesn't pay attention now what's going on. So the 3 of us were there. My mom's definitely
a Pirate fan.
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
She would, yeah. So that wasn't a big deal for her to go, but and then I just remember I don't remember sitting the whole game. I remember standing virtually the whole time watching everything, and of course the explosion of that place when Cueto dropped the ball and what happened next when Martin's hit. That is something like you couldn't hear anything. You couldn't hear the fireworks going off.
Well, this standing room only crowd trying to get under Johnny Cueto's skin, and they might be. That ball's hit well to left center field. Back toward the track, and that ball is gone. Russell Martin, 2-0 Pittsburgh.
Well, I know playing on the road can rally you sometimes, but this is ridiculous, Cap.
Nice little leg kick, nice little extension. Almost looks like Bird's home run, but hit to left center field. He got a good chunk of that one. No chance.
I haven't heard a chant like this, Ernie, since Darryl in Fenway Park in the 80s.
You couldn't hear people. All you could hear was just that noise. And, he ran the bases. It didn't look like he touched the ground. And just the, I don't want to say I get like emotional because I'm dead inside. I don't get that way, but like just that.
About everything.
Yeah, pretty much. To say like, just what everything we'd gone through, and just, I mean, I've been going to home openers since I was in like high school, and just all the nonsense of all those years, just being able to finally do that. And again, we put the time in, and we've been following the team all those years. McCutchen gets drafted, and everything building up to this point. That was the year Garrett Cole got called up too, right? I was there for Cole's debut.
Don't remember that.
I think it was. So I was there for like Cole's debut game. Like there were all these like things just building up to this point. And the year before they got better. Right. Everyone thought was the year, and then they fell on their face
at the end. Yeah.
So it was like, are we finally here? That that game happens. Of course, afterwards, St. Louis, and we went to all those games too. And it wasn't so good. Did I. That's just what I remember about being there, was just that intense energy feeling in the air. It was tangible. You could just feel it.
Okay. I'm agreeing with you, obviously. I've been to a Super Bowl, been to a World Series, been to a Stanley Cup final. I've been to home games at Duke, UNC, and Syracuse basketball. Wow. Back Syracuse when the Carrier Dome first opened. Yeah. It was pretty fucking amazing. Yep. And I've been to football games at Ohio State, Penn State, and Michigan. Wow. None of those were close.
Really?
None of those were close.
Wow.
This was my story is going to be similar to yours. I got down there real early. I met some friends. We ate and drank at the River Town, and it was good, but it wasn't. That was about 2.5 hours before the game. Okay. And we were there for about an hour and a half before the game. We started to walk to the stadium, and you're right. You could feel something different. Now, I will say they were good that year. Yeah. And when you went to the games early on Federal Street, shit was happening. Yes. Like it was different, even the regular season.
Yeah, absolutely.
You go to a game now and even before then, you don't see anyone. There's no lines for anything. Right. But unlike you, who parked at Allegheny Center, I parked way further up the north side where I didn't have to pay, but I'd walk by Allegheny Center, and walking down there usually there's nobody there, but that year there were people there, and more and more and more. But then, back to this night.
Live music. The whole
thing. Absolutely.
It was crazy.
And I sensed something different when we were walking to the stadium, but when I really knew, we walked in, and we have 2 great seats. Mm-hmm. So we bought 2. We had those 2, and we bought 2 more, kind of where yours were, except on the left field line. Okay, yeah. And I told my daughter and the guy that was the latest one in on the ticket package, we told them to go down to left field, and me and my buddy, it seemed like the most fair thing because we'd been going the longest. Sure. So we were sitting right behind the Reds dugout, as you know where those seats are. Yep. I should actually look for that film, because there's a film of me fucking harassing the Reds. Yeah. But before I got to my seat, there was just something there. And just for those of you who don't know, this Pirates had experienced 20 straight losing seasons going up into that year. Right. Let me say that again. 20 straight losing seasons. So they finally make the playoffs. It's a 1-game shot. And it was just like a boiling pot where the lid flew off as soon as you walked in there. And then you get to your seat and everyone's just fired up like I've never seen before. And the first strike was like, we just won the World Series.
Well, and every pitch, every second strike, as soon as called strike 2, boom, everybody stood up and clapped and cheered for strike 3 to come. It was every pitch. Everybody was paying attention to the game. That's the other thing, is everybody was there for the game. That doesn't happen anymore.
You're right. And the Cueto thing was amazing. We're all young Cueto, and he drops the ball out of nervousness, I think. Yeah. And then the next pitch, Martin hits that home run. And just the rest of the game was crazy. And then I just remember driving home, which I probably shouldn't have. Because I will say one thing, my beer man still made it to me.
I figure.
I had no shortage, but I had 25 texts from people out of town that saw me behind the dugout. Awesome. And I'm just trying to go at the light in the north side. I'm trying to go through all those things, and that's what I forget, but never forget. Yep. But boy, I don't think it'll ever happen again in our lifetime like that.
To that point, the next 2 wild card games, the next 2 years, they never matched up. There was excitement in the air,
right?
But it did not feel the same as it did that night. You could tell it was a playoff game, and whatever, but like it was never equal to what it was that year.
You're right. And like I said, all those sporting events I've been to, and since I don't think, and words don't do what we're talking about justice, because you're thinking, oh yeah, I was at a no, fuck you weren't. God damn it. This was the game.
Yeah,
this was the game where everyone got together, and it won't happen again. But damn it, we get to talk about a good thing. Next week I'll bitch about the Pirates again. How about that? We'll be back with Transylvanian Brain Freeze.
Transylvania Brain Freeze.
As you just heard, this is Transylvanian Brain Freeze, and I have 4 items this week. Sometimes only 3. It's 4, but I had to put 2 together because 2 involve nudity.
Nice.
So let me read these first 2, and then we'll talk about what your opinion is.
Okay.
A Kansas county passed a law banning public nudity because a middle-aged man took frequent strolls naked through the town. When people tried to stop him, he said, hey, it's a free country. And Sheriff David Folletti, he said they were powerless because a state law prohibited lewd behavior unless there was an intent to arouse somebody else. One neighbor said you shouldn't have to see that. So I guess there was no arousal. So that's why he was safe until the county. Yeah. Now, I didn't know a county could pass a law that supersedes a state law.
Yeah, how's that work?
I don't know. We'll have to go to Kansas and find out.
Okay.
But before we talk too much about that,
okay,
this is kind of the converse of what I just talked about. Right. This is in South Carolina. More than 160 people this year signed up to run in the Buck Creek Streak, which is clothing optional 5K sponsored by a nudist resort. This is its 11th year, and it's grown in popularity every year. It started off with 25, and it keeps going up and up. Board member Tom Crowder said, you can go anywhere and do a 5K, but you can't go anywhere and run a 5K naked.
Well, he's probably right there.
So, what's your thoughts on Kansas saying no to it and South Carolina welcoming it?
I'm annoyed by both of them. I hate to say, it's not that I have anything against nudity, but they're both just trying to go against the grain for the sake of it. Like, can't you just go like everywhere else, like everybody else, and do a nude cruise or some colony up here in the sticks where nobody's going to pay attention? There's too much intent here for me. I listen, look, I couldn't walk down the street. I would be guilty because, I'm certain people would be aroused if I walked down the street nude. So I'd be guilty as charged, but
yeah, but they'd be aroused to kill themselves.
But I don't know. They're trying to make it more about them than the whole idea, I think.
No, okay, I agree. I don't want to see that fucking guy rocking around in Kansas. Now, South Carolina, it's clothing optional.
Yeah,
I think I might have joined up and wore my clothes. But, and some of you may think I'm a sick fucker because of this, but you already think that anyway. I used to run pretty often back in the day.
Yeah, you've said
5Ks, 10Ks, 2 marathons. And my strategy always was, if you want to call it a strategy, it's something that got me through it because I really don't enjoy running.
Right.
But I would find a good-looking babe, run behind her for a while, and then when I found a little burst energy, I'd run fast until I came to the next babe. And I got to say, there's a lot of good-looking babes because there aren't I mean, they're not big fat hoes. They're skinny little hoes. And I can see in a nudist thing where that strategy would, I might have vaulted to the top by the end. Who knows? So perhaps I'd be a record holder if we did that now.
What do they call that? Drafting? Is that what?
Yeah, exactly. And
new drafting.
I know people are going to say it's sick, but it kept my.
Hey,
if I thought about why the fuck am I doing this, I'd have probably dropped out. But when you're looking at something that you like, you keep going. And for those of you going to give me, hey, it's not women could do that with men too. I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay. What if I was?
That's right. They'd be aroused according to you. I'm going to, though, if you ever think about walking or running naked, please let me know. I'll send you some money for some real good clothes.
So you don't want to do a clothing optional podcast one week?
No, I don't. No. You like this is plenty. Plenty. All right, let me go to number 3 here. Now, there's no more nudity. I'm sorry.
Boo.
Yeah. I probably should have saved those till last. A disoriented DoorDash driver somehow crossed the security perimeter at Chicago O'Hare Airport and crossed several runways many times. Air traffic controller Robert Mark said this could have been really, really bad.
You think? Oh, no.
They go to all the trouble to check every fucking passenger, and they let some fucking car just go straight through there.
Good God.
And I'm assuming you've flown into Chicago, right?
Several times.
Like okay, now Midway, is in the middle. That's just in the middle of the damn. You can almost see it happening there. But O'Hare?
I know.
Damn.
Yeah, right.
Damn. Get with it, you
That's
people.
That's a good point. That's a real good point.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Jesus.
And you're really going to hate this one. Because
this
has come up several other times, and I wasn't going to put it on, but it's just sickening to me, too. Demery Wilson of Houston. He's suing Whataburger for $1 million. Why? Because he requested no onions, and there were some onions within the meat. And it turned out last year he sued Sonic Drive-In for the same reason. That case was dismissed.
Thank God.
Yeah. I almost think if you come up with ridiculous shit like that, there should be a fucking penalty on you.
Some sort of public shaming.
Absolutely.
Something like, here's what this douchebag did. Here's why you should hate him.
Yeah. If you live in Houston, go to Demery Wilson. Look him up. I'm sure it's easy to find. And throw onions on his fucking house.
Yes. That's a great idea.
Throw a bunch. As a matter of fact, maybe we should go down there.
Yes. I'm on board for this.
Okay.
Yes.
That's Transylvanian Brain Freeze. We'll be back with the movie game. Welcome to the movie game. In the movie game, I give 2 lines, 2 characters, 2 actors. And the amazing thing about this is we have 11 people participating.
Wow.
Tiny was perfect through 5 weeks. Last week, he had a bad week, and 3 people passed
a bad week. It was a bad movie. That's not a very good movie.
You see, poor Carpenter always blames his tools. You're way ahead of where you should be. So I was trying to be nice to you. He's been lucky as fuck. Wait till I put some real hard movies in there, or just real movies. Although I think you should get this today. I don't know for sure. Okay. And I hate to jump ahead. Music games next. I think you're going to get your first one today.
Oh.
But I will say, you're not going to get next week. No way you're going to get next week's. I decided, I heard a song on the radio, and I said, I'm going to do that next week. And then I thought, oh, Tiny doesn't know that fucking song, so you better get it this week. All right, but we're to the movie game, and it's you get 5 points if you get the title, and 1 point if you get the year. And as you saw the scoring, let's see, who's winning there? Yimmy and Colombo and Paul G are right, and then you're right there. You know, you only need a good week here too.
Right.
All right, you ready?
Let's do it.
Okay. Now the one thing Tiny is at a disadvantage. The rest of you can pause. He cannot. Yeah. Oh, by the way, and a different spin who said he was going to become part of the show again.
Yeah.
And then after he told me that, he didn't vote for 3 weeks on Would You Rather, and now he finally listened. This week, and he sent me his score. And I said, that doesn't do me any fucking good. We got 11 people that have been participating every week. And then he got pissed.
Oh,
I haven't heard from him. So
there you go. Yeah. You have way with people.
Fuck with him. I coached him, though, so I guess perhaps I helped form him the way he is. You know?
I blame you, too.
Being an asshole. Yeah. Hope you're listening again, Spin. All right. Here's the 2 lines. Why you got to go and say 50 eggs for? Why not 35 or 39? I thought it was a nice round number. You have it yet or no? Don't you? Okay. The second line is, John Boy, let me tell you something. You know them chains ain't metals. You get them for making mistakes. And you make a bad enough mistake, then you got to deal with the man. And he is one rough old boy. That's the two lines.
Wow.
The two characters are Dragline and Lucas Jackson. And the two actors are Paul Newman and George Kennedy.
Oh, shit. I know this movie.
The rest of you can pause while he's thinking.
Son of a bitch. I know this movie.
Yeah, you should. You should. I think.
Is it the guy, the two names? Wait, I'm thinking of the wrong movie. Oh, fuck.
We'll give you a little bit of time.
I know. Dead airs.
I need a litlittle filler here. That's my job, you know.
Yeah, dead airs a terrible thing.
What can I bring up?
It's gonna rain.
Yeah. Hold with us because electricity might go off anytime. Though it is storming out here pretty bad here at the cathedral.
It might.
Yeah. So if we leave you for a while, I know you'll be happy.
I don't know it.
Okay, you want to guess a year? It is Paul Newman, so you know it's not 2024.
Right. 1974.
The name of the movie, Cool Hand Luke, 1967.
Damn it.
So you put up a big fat zero again. I thought you might know that one, but have you seen it? The movie?
I don't know that I've ever seen it in full.
It's a good movie.
It's one of those when I'll put it on when it's on. Like what's the motorcycle movie with Jack Nicholson and what's his name? I'll put that on.
I know what you're talking about.
You know, but yeah, I don't know that I've ever sat down and watched the beginning to end.
Well, you probably should.
I should.
Okay. Two things about the movie. In the famous scene where the first he was talking about why he said 50 eggs, he was going to eat 50 hard-boiled eggs, and 200 hard-boiled eggs were provided for the famous scene. Paul Newman actually only consumed 8. The rest were eaten by cast and crew. Said leading to extreme flatulence the next day on set. And it also said Paul Newman puked eating 8.
Oh.
Yeah, how about that? How about that? And then the other, Jack Lemmon, who was a great actor.
Yes.
He was up for the lead role. Now, this is refreshing. He read the script. He thought Paul Newman would be better. And so he produced the movie.
Oh,
yeah. He thought, now let's put Paul Newman in there. And yeah, I think it did pretty well.
There aren't going to be too many actors that do that kind of shit.
No,
today.
they're sure. No, nobody. No one to do that today. Cool Hand Luke, 1967. Highly recommended if you can find it somewhere. And we'll be back with the music game. In the music game, I give you lyrics. I am going to sing a little bit today because I'm feeling it. And you get 3 points for the title, 2 points for the artist or group, 1 point for the year it was released. And looking here at the scorecard, Tiny is in dead last place still. Dead last.
This is one of my worst stretches ever, really.
And let's see, 3-Pack and Yimmy have the tied for the lead, and Paul G's right on their nose. And we knew he would be because he was good. Paul G's the one person that's been participating for
ever.
Yeah, months and months and months. Mm-hmm. And but let's see. Even though you're in dead last, a good week, you could catch Teddy Roosevelt. How about that? How about that? And I think you're going to get this one. But I said that last week.
I should have got last week's. Yeah. I couldn't think last week.
Okay, well, you'll get it because I'm going to sing a little bit. Not the whole thing. There's a little bit here. Okay, and just so you know, I'm don't blurt it out so the other people can.
Right.
And because some people said they got the last week's on the first 2 words.
Oh,
how about that?
Wow.
Yeah. And this one, I went to the second stanza.
Oh, I struggle with these.
You do. But the words were in the first one, so I couldn't very well do it.
Okay.
All right. You ready?
Here we go.
Now that ain't working. That's the way you do it. Let me tell you, them guys ain't dumb. Maybe get a blister on your little finger. maybe get a blister on your thumb. We got to install microwave ovens, custom kitchen deliveries. We got to move them refrigerators. We got to move these color TVs.
I'm finally
You're going to get one.
See that?
What is it?
It's Dire Straits.
Yep.
Oh my God, my brain. Money for Nothing.
Yes.
God damn it. I was singing the whole fucking song. And then, you know what I started doing in my head? I was singing the Weird Al song. You ever heard the Weird Al?
Oh, the Weird Al song's great. We could do a whole show on the Weird Al song. Maybe we should. Okay, you got that's 3 and 2. You got 5. Can you get 1 point and tie Teddy Roosevelt?
I'm gonna go with my first get, 1987.
1985. No, that's 5 points. Let me write this down. Tiny gets a 0 and a 5. Okay.
Son of a bitch.
He gets a little closer, but he's still in last place going into next week. And I already mentioned I don't see him getting next week's. That's the birthday music game. I'm sorry, the birthday game. Damn.
That's as bad as I'm singing the Beverly Hillbillies now. Son of a bitch.
Okay.
Move a movie star.
We'll be back with Argy Bargy. I'm going to bitch about something.
Hey, give us some of that all Jude. Giving it all to Jack. Give it some of that.
Welcome back, Pittsburgh Dive Bar Talk. This is Argy Bargy, and I'm going to bitch about something. And it's cell phone usage, but not what you think. At LA Fitness, the sauna is 180 degrees, and most of the people in there play with their phones, okay? Yesterday, I'm sitting out in the sun enjoying myself, actually watching Pittsburgh Dive Bar Talk, which you guys should do too. Oh, that's right, you're doing it. And my phone goes off because it's too hot.
Oh.
What the fuck is going on? I pay good money for that. Do I have loser printed on my forehead? This is bullshit. If you can watch it in a damn sauna at 180, I'm out there at 79 degrees and it's too fucking hot. What the fuck is going on? That's my Argy Bargy. Welcome back. This we used to call this our most popular segment. I don't know if it still is or not. What do you think?
Good question. It's kind of morphed into a bunch of different things.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, it has. This is our traditional Would You Rather, where we pit 2 women against each other. These are Olympic gymnasts, and it's Simone Biles versus Ali Raisman. And well, you put the picture up already, I'm thinking. And let me just read some comments before we get to the final vote. This person voted for Simone. So petite, so interesting to just do athletic maneuvers on your lap. And this person took Simone because she's a small package of dynamite. Now, here's a few for Allie. This is short and to the point. Allie, right up my alley. How about that, huh? That's from a regular viewer. That's a regular viewer. Allie, scared Simone would whoop my ass.
Right.
Yeah. Allie, the naked Sports Illustrated pics were hot as fuck. That's a quote, too. Remember, this isn't from us. We're not gross like that.
Right.
You people are.
Right.
And this one says, Allie, Biles looks like a damn man.
No way.
I don't think so either, but hey. Oh, look, Zelda.
Hey, Bubba.
Yeah. Living legend here. Zelda. Okay, I think you'll probably figure out who this is from.
Oh, boy.
The thought of a gymnast has endless possibilities. Twisting, turning, splits, and great flexibility. Let's not forget about their tight ass and titters. I think you know who that's from now. He says, I'm going with Allie. She really does raise a cock. How about that, huh? How about that?
That's pretty good.
That is. Now we got a comment to adore.
Okay.
I really don't find either sexy, but I'll go with Simone, even though her titties are smaller than mine. But being on 4'8" has a big advantage by not having to kneel while servicing my manhood. She is also athletic enough to keep her back perfectly level without spilling my beer and hoagie. That's pretty fucking good. That's a comment to adore. And we got one more, Mr. Harrelson.
Mr. Harrelson.
Mr. Harrelson. By the way, that's right. I can't say that. Sorry.
Whoops.
Yeah, whoops is right. Mr. Harrelson said, doing Biles would probably feel as though I visited the school playground with a bag of candy. She looks like something I'd find on the yellow brick road. But she does have a poker game named after her, 7-stud low hole. He said, I'll take Raisman. At least her chest is a bit more defined than Biles, which is 2 small blisters.
Wow.
But I would love to have either do a freestyle on my pommel horse.
Wow.
Yeah, how about that? And we had another regular say something about a pommel horse, too. But I figured 2 pommel horses wouldn't be
don't make it right.
Wouldn't be appropriate. Okay. Me and Tiny spend no time on this. And I can't even find my fucking pen. But go ahead. Who are you voting for?
I hate to say because we've ripped on Guru before for some of his responses, but he sent me his response to you. And I it affected me for some reason.
No. Your friends are fucking rednecks.
I'm not saying I don't have a vote, but I was really like, wow, he really has a strong opinion about both of them.
Oh, he sure. And neither of them were good.
No, neither of them were good.
No. We're not supposed to mention names, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I almost fucked up, and then you did fuck up.
Then I did. Whoops.
Yeah. But your friends are fucking redneck. Did any one of your friends even vote?
No. Okay. I didn't even get a neither this time. No, nope. Okay. I didn't hear it from anybody. I before Guru, I was Allie, and I think even after, I'm still Allie. I think.
Okay.
Regardless, either one of them, I just think of how all the crazy stuff they could do. I mean, which refers to the pommel horse, I guess. But I'm an Allie vote.
Okay, and the reason I'm taking Allie is you ever hear Simone talk? Her voice is I mean, if she could promise to be quiet the whole time, I could do it. But hey, she's with me. She can't be quiet the whole time. She'd probably say, "What the fuck? Get off me! Get off me! You old fucking fat man!" But anyway, I took Allie too, but our votes didn't count.
Oh,
final score: Allie, 34-12.
Wow.
Yeah. So not close.
Wow.
So Simone goes into our pile of people that didn't win, who knows what we'll do with, and Allie goes into the pile that we may have that tournament or we may not. We'll be back with Samurai Chatter.
Well, I believe in UFOs. That's what gets me every time.
We're live from the cathedral for our last segment, which is Samurai Chatter. And in this one got a big damn, a lot of people participated in this. And it's Dead or Alive, your most overrated person. And we asked people to stay away from politics. Mm-hmm. For the most part, they did. Okay. Not quite, but at least recent politics they stayed away from. So I guess that's okay.
Yeah.
And let me read the people that got one vote first, and then see if you have any comments, because we don't want to comment on every one, because we'd all be here for a long fucking time. And we're still not sure about this storm.
That's right.
Okay, these people got one vote. Marilyn Monroe. This is most overrated person ever. Bob Nutting, Kid Rock, Jimi Hendrix, Jelly Roll, Santa Claus.
Oh, come on.
Waldo, the King of England, Dick Vitale, Hawk Tuah, Madonna.
You know who Hawk Tuah is?
I do know who she is. Yeah.
They're wrong.
You like her?
She's appropriately rated.
Madonna, Michael Jackson, Derek Jeter, Elvis Presley, Kim Kardashian, Benson Boone. You know him?
No, I don't think
I did not either. I looked up. He's a young singer-songwriter.
Okay.
Thomas Jefferson. No, we're going back here. Muhammad.
Oh.
Gandhi. We're really going back. Eve.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Babe Ruth. I'm gonna comment on that. Bert Kreischer. You know him?
I do.
I figured you would.
Yeah.
He's a comedian.
I have his sandals are the most comfortable sandals I've ever owned.
Really?
They're $50 or whatever. I've been through 3 pair of them already.
You think he's overrated?
Did you see the Tom Brady roast?
Some of it.
The chick, I can't remember her name now.
Oh, the good looking
blonde chick.
Yeah.
She says, I'm such a big fan of Bert Kreischer and his joke because he only has the one joke that they made the movie about. It was so good. Yes.
Okay. We got Abe Lincoln. We got FDR, Christopher Columbus, Paul Revere, Bruce Springsteen, and Jamie Dimon. You know him? You probably do. No, you don't.
Jamie Dimon?
Boy, you are a shitty fucking banker.
I don't know. Who is that?
He's in charge of what is it, Chase Bank? And
that douche.
Yeah, he makes. I didn't know who he was. I had to look him up, but apparently he makes all these predictions that are all fucking wrong.
Yeah,
yeah. Okay, let me just. First of all, let me go back. Last week I told someone they were wrong, and they came back at me
hard.
Oh, they came back at me with a vengeance. And I gave them the opportunity to rebut, but they were busy today, so they don't get that chance.
Yeah.
So my thing is, no, you're still fucking wrong. Sporting event, you go back to 1913, where there were 15 people watching this shitty fucking golf match, and he brought up, well, they made a movie about it. They made a movie about Howard the Duck. Which Leah Thompson looked really good in.
Oh,
you ever see that movie?
I have. Yes,
she looked great in that movie.
Yes,
I like her.
She did.
Okay,
that was like prime Back to the Future years.
That was, and now I did. Okay, one regular viewer said, "How many votes did Tiny get?" And out of that group, the person that took Babe Ruth, and I like the guy. His name's Ray. And I respect his opinion, but you're fucking wrong. Here's why. I know what people say. Babe Ruth didn't play against Hispanics and blacks, but first of all, not many blacks play now.
Yeah,
so,
right.
but a lot of Hispanics do, obviously.
Sure.
But here's how I judge somebody. I just picked out 2 years. In 1920, Babe Ruth hit 54 home runs. Second was 19. 19. In 1921, the next year, he hit 59 and second was 24.
Wow.
When you're that much better than everyone, Ray, don't just say, no, I'm wrong. Think about that for a second. How can a guy be overrated when he was so much better than that? They were facing the same people he was, and he just kicked their ass that bad. So that's the only one I had big time problems with. Any comment? You liked Hawk 2? Or no, you thought Hawk 2 was proper, appropriate. Anybody else there? And then I got people that had multiple votes.
No, I chimed in with everybody that I thought at the time. I mean, there's some like Marilyn Monroe. I disagree. I don't think she's overrated.
I agree.
I mentioned almost any chick, and I'm going to defend that one probably. But
okay, these people got 2 votes. LeBron James.
Oh,
now one person specifically said, as a person, not a player.
Oh, okay.
And she had her reasons.
Okay.
Winston Churchill.
Wow.
Aaron Rodgers.
Recency bias.
Yeah, exactly. Jack the Ripper.
Oh.
Yeah, but you know, okay, one person put there, I can't remember exactly. I think Jack the Ripper, he gets all this credit. He only killed 5 people.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah, but damn, 5 people now. You're not even in the top 50 now.
That happens like 3 times a week.
Exactly. Yeah, any teenager in Chicago kills 5. Okay. That's right. Rod Stewart too.
Oh yeah.
Rod Stewart got 2 votes.
Okay.
Now, 3 votes. Thomas Edison.
Oh, you're kidding?
No.
That's my vote.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, that ties him for the lead because with 4 votes now, it's tied. Taylor Swift.
Recency bias.
That is recency bias. And then, okay, I have one other comment. Paul Revere got a vote, right? Yeah. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but I just looked up Paul Revere. He had 2 wives and he had 8 children with each of them.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I'm surprised he had time to take that midnight ride.
Beastie Boys have a song about him, so he's got to be all right.
Okay. There was a song in the 60s about him, too. And I guess, I don't know. There's so many people that are fucking overrated. I was going to go Meghan Markle, but I make fun of her almost every week, so I'll stay away from her. So the person I really don't, there are a lot of people I don't fucking like. Yeah. But you don't even know who Hoda Kotb is, do you? She's on the Today Show, or she was on the Today Show.
You mentioned her.
I mentioned her because she quit because she wanted to spend time with her family.
Oh, that's right.
And then it came out that they cut her salary.
Yeah.
And before that, their family didn't matter.
Funny how that.
And then, she was on the Today Show. I think it was this week.
Okay. For
one day. And they made such a big thing.
Yeah.
She was promoting her fucking book.
Of course.
And how'd she have time to write a fucking book?
She's with her
I thought
family.
she was supposed to be spending time with her family.
Yeah.
So I just don't like that bitch. And there's a lot of people I don't like. But that's what I'm going with.
Go ahead.
No, I don't got much.
The Edison thing, the only reason it even came to mind is before bed every night, I put Family Guy on. It puts me to sleep, the old reruns.
Yeah.
And on the thing, they were making fun of Edison. They said, look, they sing, look it up, Edison was a dick. And I'm like, why? What happened? So I spent some time like, wow, he stole everybody's ideas. So I was like, okay, I'll go with Edison.
And I looked him up, and the thing I saw was mostly positive. But then I watched a horrible movie this morning about, it was called Space Between Us or something. Some fucking teenager grew up in Mars. Yeah. And then it was a horrible movie. I watched it. I don't know if you know Carla Gugino. I like her, but she accepted this role. She must have needed work. But anyway, he jumped in his classroom, and this guy was real smart, and they said something about Thomas Edison, and then he cracked on him too.
Oh, wow.
In the movie. So there must be something to that shit.
Sure, okay. Well,
okay. I'm
disappointed. I thought it was going to be a super smart idea on my part. And here was one of 5 people to do it or whatever.
No, shouldn't that make you happy that other people agree?
No, I don't ever want to conform. No.
I don't know that you're conforming. It's just people thought he was a dick the same way you did.
I guess.
Okay, well, I'll tell you a person that's not a dick. It's Yogi Berra. Ooh. But it's his turn.
Nice.
And now someone asked him for directions. Yogi said, when you come to a fork in the road, take it. So there you have it. You don't have anything else, do you?
We're good.
Okay. That concludes. We'll have a name for this. This was 107, but we'll have a name for it by the time you watch it. And but we'll be back next week because why will we be back next week?
I don't know why.
We have nothing else to do.
No, that's right.
We'll see you then.